Close your eyes and imagine this. The deep blue ocean stretches endlessly in every direction. Waves crash against unseen cliffs, and far below the surface, where sunlight fades into shadow, something ancient sleeps. For thousands of years, it has remained hidden. Stone walls, colossal staircases, temples carved with forgotten symbols, buried beneath layers of sand and salt water. Then one day, a diver's flashlight sweeps across the ocean floor and reveals the impossible: the ruins of a city that no one alive has ever seen. This is not science fiction. Around the world, archaeologists, divers, and even fishermen have stumbled upon the remains of cities swallowed by the sea. And each discovery raises the same haunting question: how many civilizations have we lost to the oceans of time? Today, we'll dive deep into some of the most astonishing cases of sunken cities, ruins that emerged from the ocean and challenge everything we thought we knew about history. Our journey will take us from the legendary Atlantis to the drowned temples of India, from the shattered remains of the Minoans to the strange underwater pyramids of Japan. So settle in, let your imagination guide you, and prepare to travel back to a time when these cities were alive with light, music, and life, before the waves claimed them forever. Atlantis, the legend, beneath the waves. Few names capture the imagination like Atlantis. First described by the philosopher Plato more than 2,000 years ago, Atlantis was said to be a powerful island empire, larger than Libya and Asia combined, filled with majestic palaces, temples of gold, and technology far beyond its time. According to Plato, Atlantis vanished in a single catastrophic day and night, swallowed by the sea. For centuries, scholars have debated, was Atlantis real, or was it merely a moral allegory? A story about hubris and the downfall of nations. Yet, as the centuries rolled on, reports began to surface of strange ruins beneath the waves. In the Mediterranean, divers found what looked like columns and pavements lying under the sea. Off the coast of Spain and Morocco, researchers mapped what appeared to be circular formations, eerily similar to Plato's description of Atlantis's concentric rings. And in the Caribbean, sonar scans revealed vast structures buried beneath sand, sparking speculation that Atlantis might have been in the New World. The allure of Atlantis lies not just in whether it existed, but in what it represents. The possibility that entire civilizations can be erased from memory, leaving behind only whispers and myths. But Atlantis is not the only sunken city. Far from being a lone legend, it may simply be the most famous example of a much larger truth. Civilizations rise, thrive, and sometimes they fall beneath the waves. Dwarka, the sunken city of Krishna. In the waters off India's western coast lies one of the most incredible discoveries of the modern age. Divers exploring the Gulf of Khambhat uncovered stone structures, streets, and massive walls resting 36 meters below the surface. These weren't random rock formations. They appeared to be the remains of a planned city. What made this discovery even more astonishing was its connection to ancient Hindu texts. The Mahabharata, one of India's oldest epics, describes the city of Dwarka, the fabled home of Lord Krishna. According to legend, Dwarka was a shining metropolis filled with palaces of gold, marble towers, and bustling harbors. But after Krishna's death, the city was swallowed by the sea. For centuries, many dismissed this as myth. But now, here were ruins that seemed to match the descriptions almost perfectly. Radiocarbon dating of artifacts suggested the site was at least 9,000 years old, older than the pyramids of Egypt, older even than Mesopotamia. If true, this would rewrite history, pushing back the timeline of advanced civilization by thousands of years. Could Dwarka be proof that humanity's first cities existed long before we believed possible? And this is just the beginning to Baobi. From India's drowned temples, we will travel next to the shattered remains of the Minoan civilization, lost to fire, ash, and the waves of a deadly eruption. The Minoans and the fury of Thera. Let's travel back to the Aegean Sea, around 1600 BC. Here, on the island of Crete, flourished one of the world's earliest advanced civilizations, the Minoans. They built sprawling palaces at Knossos, with labyrinthine halls and colorful frescoes that depicted life at its most vibrant. Dancers, acrobats leaping over bulls, fleets of ships trading across the Mediterranean. The Minoans were more than farmers and fishermen. They were architects, artists, and engineers. They designed intricate drainage systems, multi-story buildings, and even paved roads. At their height, they rivaled the Egyptians in sophistication. But then came Thera. Just north of Crete lay the volcanic island of Santorini, known in antiquity as Thera. Around 1600 BC, it erupted with a force so powerful that scientists rank it among the largest volcanic events in recorded history. Entire sections of the island were blown apart. Ash darkened the sky. Tidal waves surged across the sea, some towering over 100 feet high. The blast didn't just destroy Santorini, it devastated the Minoan world. Coastal towns were swept away. Trade routes collapsed. Agriculture faltered under the veil of volcanic ash. In just a few decades, a once flourishing civilization crumbled into decline. Many scholars believe this disaster may have inspired Plato's tale of Atlantis, a powerful civilization swallowed by the sea in a single catastrophic event. The Minoans, like Atlantis, remind us how fragile even the most advanced societies can be in the face of nature's wrath. Yonaguni, Japan's underwater pyramids. Now let's cross thousands of miles to the Pacific Ocean, near the Japanese island of Yonaguni. In 1986, a diver exploring the seabed stumbled upon something that would spark one of archaeology's greatest controversies: a massive, step-like structure rising from the ocean floor. At first glance, it looked almost too precise to be natural. Gigantic rectangular blocks stacked in terraces, flat platforms, sharp angles, and even what appeared to be staircases. Some explorers claimed they could see carvings of animals, doorways, even a massive stage where rituals might have taken place. The site quickly became known as the Yonaguni Monument. But here lies the debate. Is it a natural formation shaped by geological forces, or the ruins of a lost civilization submerged at the end of the last ice age, when sea levels rose dramatically? Supporters of the lost city theory argue that Yonaguni could be over 10,000 years old, placing it far earlier than any known Japanese civilization. If true, this would mean a highly advanced culture existed in the Pacific long before history books suggest. Skeptics dismiss it as nothing more than fractured sandstone shaped by ocean currents. Yet, the sheer scale of the monument and its uncanny resemblance to man-made architecture keeps the mystery alive. Whether natural or human-made, Yonaguni fuels the imagination. It's a reminder that beneath the oceans lie secrets we have barely begun to uncover. A global pattern emerges. When we place these stories side by side, Atlantis, Dwarka, the Minoans, Yonaguni, we begin to notice a pattern. Across the world, separated by oceans and continents, we find echoes of the same story. Great cities, thriving cultures, and sudden destruction by rising seas or natural disasters. At the end of the last ice age, around 12,000 years ago, global sea levels rose by more than 120 meters as glaciers melted. Vast stretches of land that once held human settlements were swallowed by water. If people lived along those coasts, as they always have throughout history, then entire civilizations may now rest beneath the waves, waiting to be rediscovered. This possibility challenges the way we see history. Maybe the first civilizations we learn about, Mesopotamia, Egypt, the Indus Valley, were not the beginning, but merely survivors of a much older, much larger human story. A glimpse beyond time. As we look at these submerged ruins, we're left with questions that have no easy answers. How advanced were these lost civilizations? How many more lie hidden beneath the seas? And most importantly, if entire cultures could vanish so completely, what does that say about our own place in history? The ocean is vast, and even with modern technology, we have mapped only a fraction of its depths. Somewhere out there, beneath the rolling waves, more cities may be waiting. Stone libraries of forgotten knowledge, temples of gods long erased, palaces where no light has touched for millennia. What we've found so far, Atlantis in legend, Dwarka in India, the Minoans in Greece, Yonaguni in Japan, is only the beginning of a story that spans the entire planet. But our journey isn't over yet, because as we continue, we'll see that the ocean may not be the final resting place of these civilizations. It may be the key to understanding why they fell and what lessons they still hold for us today. Easter Island, whispers of a forgotten society. Far out in the South Pacific, thousands of miles from the nearest continent, lies one of the most mysterious places on Earth, Easter Island, or Rapa Nui. When Dutch explorers arrived in 1722, they were stunned to find colossal stone statues, moai, standing silent across the island. Some were as tall as a 3-story building, weighing up to 80 tons, yet carved centuries earlier with primitive tools. But here's the question. How did such an isolated community achieve this? And why did their once thriving society collapse? Archaeologists suggest that the people of Rapa Nui may have exhausted their environment. To move the statues, they cut down trees. To farm, they cleared forests. Slowly, the island's resources dwindled. By the time Europeans arrived, the society was already in decline, its population reduced, its monuments abandoned. Easter Island's story is not about a city swallowed by the sea, but about how a civilization can destroy itself from within, leaving behind silent stone witnesses as a warning. Climate change and the sea's rising memory. If the story of Easter Island is a cautionary tale about ecological collapse, then the oceans themselves hold another, even greater warning. At the end of the Ice Age, as glaciers melted, sea levels rose dramatically. Entire coastlines vanished. Cities like Dwarka in India slipped beneath the waves. Legends of floods appear in cultures worldwide. The Mesopotamian epic of Gilgamesh, the biblical story of Noah, the Hindu tale of Manu. Were these myths simply religious parables or fading memories of real events passed down through generations? Today, we are once again facing a changing climate. The seas are rising, glaciers retreating, storms intensifying. In a sense, we are reliving the same challenges our ancestors faced thousands of years ago. The difference is, this time, we know it's coming. Lessons from lost civilizations. So what do these stories teach us? Civilizations are fragile. The Minoans fell not from weakness, but from a single volcanic eruption that shattered their world. Nature is relentless. Whether it's the rising sea that swallowed ancient cities or the barren soil of Easter Island, the Earth reminds us that human mastery is temporary. We are not immune. Our skyscrapers, satellites, and global networks may feel permanent, but so did the temples of the Minoans, or the Moai of Easter Island. If history tells us anything, it is that forgetting the lessons of the past is the surest way to repeat them. The endless ocean of mystery. Even now, 95% of the ocean remains unexplored. Think about that. 95%. Beneath the waves may lie ruins that could rewrite history, showing us civilizations we've never imagined. Perhaps one day, sonar and deep-sea exploration will uncover entire cities resting in silence, holding knowledge that could change how we see our origins. Until then, the ocean remains both a graveyard of lost worlds and a library waiting to be read. When we gaze upon the vast horizon, we are not just looking at water. We are looking into time itself, into a mirror reflecting both our past and our possible future. From Atlantis to Dwarka, from the Minoans to Yonaguni, from Easter Island to the rising seas of today, one truth emerges. No civilization lasts forever. But while stone crumbles and cities sink, the stories endure. And maybe that is the gift of these lost civilizations. Not just the ruins they left behind, but the warnings they whisper to us. Learn. Remember. Do not repeat our mistakes. And so, as we stand at the edge of our own uncertain future, we must ask ourselves, will we listen? Or will we, too, one day, become another tale of a great civilization lost to time and tide? Civilization, a fragile dream. Every empire, every city, every monument ever built, no matter how grand, no matter how powerful, shares the same fate: time. The mighty walls of Babylon have crumbled into dust. The soaring pyramids of the Mayans lie swallowed by the jungle. Even the great Roman Empire, once thought eternal, is now just ruins and relics. What does this tell us? That civilization is not a permanent state, but a fragile dream. It survives only as long as we respect the delicate balance between humanity and the forces of nature. The ocean doesn't care how advanced we are. The earth does not bend to our will forever. And yet, within this fragility lies something astonishing: resilience. The mystery that never ends. For every city that disappears, another is born. For every civilization that falls, another rises. History is not a straight line, but a cycle, a tide that ebbs and flows like the ocean itself. Perhaps this is why lost civilizations fascinate us so deeply. They are not just stories of the past, but mirrors of ourselves. When we look at the sunken ruins of Yonaguni or the broken statues of Easter Island, we are not just seeing what once was. We are seeing what could be, what may one day happen again. Could future generations, thousands of years from now, look upon the ruins of our skyscrapers, highways, and cities with the same wonder and mystery? Could they ask, who were these people? Why did they disappear? The warning of the ancients. The legends of Atlantis, the fall of the Minoans, the empty Moai staring at the sea, all carry the same warning. Hubris leads to downfall. When a society believes itself too mighty to fall, that is when it is most vulnerable. Floods do not ask permission. Earthquakes do not respect borders. Time erases even the greatest monuments. But these stories are not only about destruction. They are also about survival, about adaptation, about remembering. Some knowledge does endure. Some lessons can guide us, if we are willing to listen. A journey without end. As we close this journey through the ocean's hidden cities and forgotten civilizations, one thing becomes clear. The past is never truly gone. It lives in myths, in ruins, in whispers carried by the waves. And as explorers, historians, dreamers, we are part of that chain. Every time we uncover a lost city, every time we piece together a broken shard of pottery, every time we tell these stories, we bring the past to life again. The ocean may bury, but it never forgets. So the next time you stand by the shore, gazing out at the endless horizon, remember, beneath those waves may lie a whole world, a forgotten city, a lost people, a chapter of human history waiting to be rediscovered. The ocean is more than water. It is memory. It is time. It is the greatest storyteller of all. And maybe, just maybe, the next great discovery, the next lost civilization waiting to rise from the depths, will change everything we think we know about ourselves and our origins. If the quest to uncover the mysteries of lost civilizations has piqued your curiosity, don't stop here. Hit the like button to let us know you want to know more. Subscribe to Echoes of the Past for weekly explorations of the forgotten, the mysterious, and the timeless. And hit the button to be the first to discover the next great story that history has buried under the sands of time. Because the past isn't dead, it's just waiting to be found.